Hello. The video for today is sort of all the bad stuff that I haven't really spoken about yet. But first off, if you see any glare or reflection within my face, it's because I've got my computer on. I don't really know where to begin, to be honest. I guess it was back when I first got in my wheelchair and things. Didn't really affect me to begin with. I was too busy trying to concentrate on getting better or trying to get better, but I did get very depressed. And I felt very, very isolated. I didn't have any friends to speak to, and I didn't have a lot of my family. They weren't really interested either, because they didn't really know what was going on. Even though they were told, they didn't believe it. They thought that I was just making it all up. And it wasn't nice not being believed when you felt really bad. And I know that when I was at primary school, I hated going to school, and I used every excuse on the book to stay off. I had a headache for 2 weeks, just so I didn't have to go to school. So I'm not denying the fact that yes, I used to do it when I was at primary school and possibly even into high school. I did make a lot of excuses about why I didn't want to go to school and all that sort of thing, but I guess it's the same, it's what people say is sort of, the more you fake it, no one really believes you when it's real, and in that case that's what happened. But I just felt very, very isolated. I mean, the only people I saw was my mum and my dad. That was it. The only people I spoke to were my mum and my dad. I'd be lying in my bed and people would come to visit and they couldn't even be bothered walking up the stairs to say, "Hi Jen, how are you?" sort of thing. But you just... So that was really difficult, and I got very, very depressed. And the only way that I sort of got out of it, I suppose, was through the internet. I went on chat sites and things and started talking to people, and at that point I was just wanting someone to talk to, I suppose, and to do things that people my age were doing. But as many of you may know, is that the internet world is not reality. You can be anything you want to be in there. And at that point I was very, very naive. And I thought when people said that they liked me or they thought I was attractive or whatever, then they actually meant it. But that really wasn't the case. Most of them only said that to get whatever they wanted, and sadly enough what they wanted I would usually give them. Which I'm really not proud of. I'm not proud of flaunting myself on the internet and just to get attention. I used to make up horrendous things just for attention. I was so low, I used to tell people that I even went on, to be completely honest with you, I even went on MSN one day and pretended to be my brother and sat and told everyone that I had slipped my wrist and I was in hospital. So I have done pretty horrendous things that no one knows about, and I don't condone it at all. I know that it was really, really bad, and it's really difficult for me to admit right now, because let's face it, you're sitting watching me and listening to me, you're a complete stranger. And you might listen to this and think she's an absolute fucking Fruit Loop. She's an attention seeker, she's just that, she's just this. And yes, I was an attention seeker. And as I say, I did some pretty horrendous things, but that was back then. I wouldn't dream of doing it now. I guess I've grown up or had an epiphany or something like that, but it just wasn't nice, and it was all down to being depressed, not feeling like I was good enough, not being so fed up that I was so ill and I couldn't lift my head off my pillow, and it's not really excuses for the things I did and the things I said, but it's the reasoning behind it, and I can't take that back, and I have never ever admitted it to anyone of what I did. And then it came to the time where I got even lower, that I did try and kill myself, and I did do that, and I did that about 3 times. The first time it was more of a it was more of an attention thing. I just wanted someone to know that I wasn't coping with what was happening to me, and I didn't really, suppose it wasn't, some people would say it wasn't a serious suicide attempt, but just because the action wasn't really there, I only took sort of 4 or 5 tablets, but the whole thought process of it is definitely there. So I told my mum, then we went to the doctor and they set up some counselling for me. I went and seen a lady called Jean, who was really, really great. I saw her for 6 months and I just sat and talked about stuff. But at the same time, a lot of stuff I can't tell people because I'm scared of what they'll think of me. I'm scared that they'll think really bad things of me, and they won't want to know me. Even now, I still think that. But I went and saw Jean for 6 months, which helped. It didn't cure everything, but it did help. But then I had to stop seeing her, and then I felt like I was back to square one. A few years passed again, and I had a bad relapse. And Mum and Dad were arguing, and Glenn and Dad were arguing, everyone was just arguing, and I couldn't deal with it. So I took a full packet of my antidepressants. I just took them one after the other. And I really didn't want to live. I really didn't want to be here. I didn't want to deal with everything anymore. This was back when I was about 18, 19, something like that. It was about 5 or 6 years ago now. I didn't want to deal with it. I was fed up. I felt like I had done something wrong. And at the time I didn't have any friends. I wasn't really kind. I was a complete bitch. I wouldn't have been my friend either, but I couldn't understand why I couldn't keep friends. I never went out for my birthday. I've never been out through Christmas or New Year. But it